Hey everyone, welcome back to English Over Tea, Listen and Speak, your daily English practice. I'm Anna.
And I'm Dan. We're so happy you're here with us today. If you're new, subscribe so you don't miss our daily episodes.
So Dan, you look a little exhausted today. What have you been up to all morning?
Oh man, it's been a crazy morning. I woke up early because I had to do a cake for my sister's birthday. Then I made the laundry, and after that, I finally sat down to make my paperwork for the accountant.
Wait, pause right there. Did you hear what you just said?
What? That I'm incredibly productive?
No. Listen to the verbs you used. You said you had to do a cake, make the laundry, and make your paperwork. You completely swapped two of the most important verbs in English.
Wait, they're really that different? I thought they were basically the same thing, like interchangeable.
They're close, but not the same. And that's exactly what we're talking about today, how to use make and do correctly in everyday English.
Okay, I'm interested, because honestly, I just throw them in wherever and hope nobody notices.
Well, today we're going to make it crystal clear. No more guessing.
All right, so what's the big difference? Because they both have something to do with taking action, right?
Yes, they both relate to taking action or completing a task, but here's the simplest way to think about it. Do is used when you are talking about an action, a task, or general activity. The focus is on the process itself. Make is used when you are constructing, building, or creating something new.
So do is about the activity, and make is about creating something.
Exactly. Make usually results in something you can touch or a tangible outcome that didn't exist before you started.
I love a good metaphor. Give me a metaphor for this.
Do is like being a machine that runs and completes its daily functions. Make is like an artist or an inventor who brings a brand new creation into the world.
The machine runs its functions versus the artist creates a masterpiece. I love that metaphor. Perfect.
Let's break this down further, starting with do. I want you to really feel the difference here. When we talk about work, jobs, or chores, we almost always use do.
Give me some examples. I need to rewire my brain after this morning's mistakes.
Sure. Think about your house. You do the housework. You do the laundry. You do the dishes. The laundry and the dishes already exist. You aren't creating them from scratch. You're just performing the action of cleaning them.
Oh, that makes so much sense. So when I said I made the laundry earlier, that sounded like I was actually sitting at a sewing machine sewing shirts and pants together.
Exactly. Unless you are spinning cotton into thread and weaving a brand new t-shirt, you aren't making laundry. You're just washing the clothes that already exist. So you do the laundry.
Wow, okay, that paints a very different picture. If I say I made the laundry, people might think I'm a fashion designer.
Right. Now, think about general work. You do business with someone. You do your homework. You do a good job. Again, these are tasks and activities.
So if my boss gives me a stack of forms to fill out, I do the paperwork.
Yes, you are performing the administrative task. You aren't manufacturing the paper itself in a mill.
Got it. What about taking care of yourself, like grooming?
Great question. We use do for personal care routines where you are performing an action on yourself. You do your hair. You do your nails. You do your makeup.
You do your makeup, but aren't you kind of creating a new look?
You might be creating a new look, but the makeup application itself is just an activity. You are performing the routine task of getting ready. You didn't invent the lipstick in a chemistry lab.
Okay, I see. I'm performing the routine. I'm doing my hair, I'm doing my makeup. Well, I don't do makeup, but my girlfriend Lily does.
And what about exercise? What verb do we use for general exercise?
We do exercise. We do yoga, we do push-ups.
Spot on. You are performing physical activities. You aren't constructing a physical yoga pose out of wood and nails. You are simply engaging in the movement.
This is really clicking now. So tasks, routines, general activities, and chores. That is the territory of do.
Yes. And we also use do when we speak in general, non-specific terms. Words like something, nothing, anything or everything.
Oh, like when I'm bored on a Sunday and I say I have nothing to do.
Exactly. You wouldn't say I have nothing to make unless you were specifically talking about an art project. You say I have nothing to do. Or if you see someone struggling, you might ask, can I do anything to help?
Are you doing anything special for your birthday?
Perfect. He does everything around the house. She did something amazing yesterday. Whenever you use those vague thing words, do is your best friend.
Okay, my brain relaxed a little. I can feel the tension leaving my forehead. I think I've mastered the art of do.
Good. Now, before we move on, let me give you a few more examples so the difference really sinks in. Let's shift our focus entirely to make. As we established, make is for creating, producing, or constructing something that wasn't there before.
Right, the artist creating a masterpiece.
Exactly. And the most common area where we use make is with food, drinks, and meals. You make a cake, you make a cup of tea, you make breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Ah, okay. So going back to my morning disaster, I shouldn't have said I had to do a cake for my sister. I made a cake because I took flour, sugar, and eggs, and I built a completely new physical object out of them.
Perfect understanding. You created a result. The ingredients transformed into a cake. So if you're in the kitchen preparing food, you are almost always making it. You make a salad, make a sandwich, make a roast.
What about making a mess? Because I definitely did that while I was baking. Flour went everywhere.
Yes, you make a mess. You produced a chaotic situation that wasn't there before you started baking. Biscuit never keeps still when she's in the kitchen either, so I'm sure she helped you.
Oh, absolutely. She's always spinning in circles trying to catch falling pieces of cake batter. So I make a cake and I make a mess. What else do I make?
You also make sounds and you make communication. For instance, if you are trying to be quiet, I might tell you, don't make a sound. If a dog is barking, it is making a noise.
Oh, I see. The sound is being produced. It's coming into existence.
Right. And this applies to how we speak to each other too. You make a comment, you make a suggestion, you make a joke, you make a complaint, and you make a promise.
This is making sense now. Make a joke is a good one. Jake is always making terrible jokes. I tell him to stop, but he still makes them.
See how they paint different pictures? You are generating the joke. You are producing the words. Another huge category for make involves plans, decisions, and choices.
Hit me.
When you look at your options, you make a choice. When you look at your future, you make a plan. When you figure out what to do, you make a decision.
So I don't do a decision. That sounds terrible anyway. I did a decision. Yuck.
It sounds completely unnatural to a native speaker. We produce the decision, so we make it. You also make arrangements, you make an attempt, and you make a mistake.
I definitely made a mistake with my English verbs this morning.
You did, but making mistakes is how we learn. Now, here is a slightly tricky category that students often get confused by: money.
Money? Like printing it? Because I definitely don't make money in my basement. That's illegal.
No, not printing it. When we talk about earning money or wealth, we always use make. You make money, you make a profit, you make a fortune.
Interesting. Even though I am doing a job, I am making money. The activity is do, but the result, the cash, is make.
That's a really insightful way to see it. The job is the continuous action. The money is the tangible result you produce from that action.
Okay, give me more examples. I want to really feel the difference. Are there any weird exceptions?
Well, think about relationships. When you meet new people, what do? You make friends. You are creating a new bond that didn't exist before.
Or if I'm annoying, I might make an enemy.
Let's hope not. But yes, grammatically, you are correct. You can also make fun of someone, which means to tease them.
Okay, so let me make sure I've got this. Make is for food, drinks, creating physical objects, making sounds, speaking, planning, deciding, money, and relationships. It really all ties back to producing a result.
Exactly. Okay, now let's look at some situations where we contrast do and make directly. This is where it gets really clear.
Okay, let's do it.
Imagine you're at work. Your boss tells you to do a report. What does that mean?
It means I need to gather the data, type it up, and perform the task of completing the document. I am doing the administrative work.
Right. But what if your boss says, make a copy of the report?
Then I go to the printer and I produce a brand new piece of paper. The copy didn't exist until I made it.
Perfect. And here's another pair. What if I say I need to do some work?
That means you are about to start your general professional activities, checking emails, typing, calling people, the process of working.
And if I say I need to make a phone call?
You are initiating a specific interaction. You are creating the connection between your phone and someone else's.
You are nailing this. Let's try one more comparison. Think about a bed. When you wake up in the morning, do you do your bed or make your bed?
You make your bed. Even though you aren't building a bed out of wood, you are creating a neat, tidy arrangement out of messy blankets.
Exactly. You are producing a state of order. But what about the laundry? We covered this.
I do the laundry. I am performing the chore of washing the clothes.
Yes, you are doing the chore, but you are making the bed. It's a subtle difference, but once you start seeing the pattern of action versus creation, it becomes second nature.
I think it's really clicking now. The fog has lifted.
Can I practice now? Give me some situations.
I'd love to. Let's see how well you've absorbed the action versus creation role. Here's your first situation. Your friend is feeling totally overwhelmed with a big project, and you want to encourage them to just try as hard as they can. What do you tell them?
Trying hard is an ongoing activity. I'm not asking them to build a physical object, so I would tell them to do their best.
Perfect. You do your best. Now, what if you want them to consciously apply energy toward finishing a specific part of that project?
Oh, that's a bit trickier. Energy is invisible, but applying it feels like producing something. Would I tell them to make an effort?
Spot on. You make an effort. You are generating the motivation and creating the push needed to get the work done. See how they contrast? You do your best, but you make an effort.
That is a subtle difference, but the producing metaphor really helps. Okay, hit me with another one.
You are driving your car and you accidentally hit your neighbor's mailbox. You need to explain the situation to your insurance company. What happened to the mailbox?
Well, I definitely didn't create a new mailbox. I ruined the old one. So I performed an action that ruined it. I did damage to the mailbox.
Exactly. You do damage. You also do harm. But let's flip it to a positive situation. What if you volunteer at an animal shelter every weekend and your work is really improving the lives of the dogs there?
In that case, I'm creating a positive result in the world. I am producing change. So I make a difference.
Beautiful. You do damage, but you make a difference. Now imagine you need to go to the doctor for a checkup. You pick up the phone to call the clinic. What are you doing?
I remember this one from earlier. Initiating a specific interaction is creating a connection. I am making a phone call.
Right. And when the receptionist answers, what do you ask for? Do you do an appointment or make an appointment?
I make an appointment. The schedule slot didn't belong to me until I produced the agreement with the receptionist. We created the plan together.
Excellent. You make an appointment. But when the day of the appointment actually arrives, what do you need to do to yourself before you leave the house?
I need to perform my grooming routine. I have to do my hair and do the laundry so I have clean clothes to wear.
You've got it. You are perfectly navigating the nuances now. Okay, let's do our vocabulary review.
Let's go. First, do for general tasks and activities. If I am performing a routine, doing a chore, or completing an ongoing action, I use do. I do the laundry, I do the dishes, I do my homework, and I do my best.
Exactly. Do is the engine running. Second, make for creating, building, or producing a result. If something tangible or new comes into existence, use make. You make a cake, you make a mess, you make a phone call, and you make a plan.
Make is the artist creating the masterpiece. Third, do for general non-specific ideas. Whenever I use words like something, nothing, anything, or everything, I have to use do. I am doing nothing today, or I want to do something fun.
Fourth, make for money and communication. You generate wealth, so you make money and make a profit. You produce sounds and words, so you make a noise, make a joke, and make a suggestion.
Fifth, do for personal care and exercise. I perform the activity on myself. I do yoga, I do my hair, and I do my makeup.
Sixth, make for relationships and choices. You create bonds that weren't there before, so you make friends. You produce a final path forward, so you make a choice and make a decision.
I feel incredibly enlightened. The next time I wake up early for a birthday, I will confidently say that I made a cake, did the laundry, and did my paperwork. No more fashion designer laundry for me.
Using both correctly in one sentence. Nicely done. All right, that was our deep dive into make versus do. Now, a question for you. Tell us in the comments, what is something important you need to make this week, and what is a boring chore you have to do?
Use both make and do in your answer. We'd love to see your sentences.
We love reading your answers. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend who's learning English.
It really helps the channel out, and it helps you stay on track with your daily practice.
We'll see you tomorrow with another easy conversation.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.